Hey everybody, it's Professor Malat with another weekly overview. This week is week 4. I just want to start off by saying I really enjoyed reading your submissions for the week 2 short write, where you did the 2 different messages for 2 different audiences, where you texted a friend and emailed a professor. Some of you were very creative with your responses there, so I just wanted to say thank you for that. It made it to be a much more enjoyable read. I hope you enjoyed doing that assignment. It was a little bit different, but I think it helps to reinforce the idea that we have different audiences and we have different genres, and how those things are related and how we tailor our message to get to reach a different audience. And we may have to use more formal language sometimes, depending on who our audience is. And this kind of relates to what we're all dealing with here in our exploration of rhetoric and rhetorical choices and rhetorical strategies. So you have written your rough drafts on your rhetorical analysis text of your choice. Again, I hope that's been enjoyable for you as well. This week, we're going to be focusing on peer feedback and revision. So there are a few things that I need to point out to you so that you aren't terribly confused when it comes to doing peer review. This may be the first time that you've done peer review in a completely online environment. And Canvas has a particular way, a particular set of tools that you can use in your peer review. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go through and give you a tutorial because Canvas has already recorded a tutorial for students to use, but I will show you where you will look for that. That is listed here at the bottom of the lectures and media. So if you scroll down on the overview page, you will see peer reviews Canvas video tutorial. It's about 3 minutes long. It's short and sweet, to the point, and it just walks you through the process of how to do it. Now, I know I've heard from students in the past that what you see in the video tutorial might not be the same as what you see in your on your screen. So what I want to show you, and I'm going to click view as student here, how you can access your draft, not your draft, but the peer review assignment. So if you click on assignments, you should be able to go in and you will be looking for the text in action rhetorical analysis essay rough draft. Don't go to the peer review instructions, because that is not where you're going to find peer review. Come to the text in action rhetorical analysis essay rough draft that you have already submitted. If you click on that, and you'll see I am not a very good student here. I haven't started the assignment. But if you have done the assignment, you will see submission information over here on the side. If you've submitted the assignment, it will say submitted, and you'll see a link to your document. You may even be able to get information that way. But you should also see the peer review listed below. I do have, no, I do not have an assignment that I submitted. However, you can also go into grades and find the assignment. And again, this will look a little bit different for you, but once your assignment is submitted, you will have a link to your text that you have submitted, your document, not text, a link to your document that you have submitted. You'll see view feedback. So that is also how you'll be able to see the feedback from your peer reviewer. So hopefully that is clear to you. I'm going to get out of the student view so we can go back to the week 4 thing. I just wanted to show you that it looks a little bit different, but if you have any questions about how to access your draft, how to access who your peer reviewer is or who you're reviewing, just let me know and I will try to figure things out with you. Okay, so make sure again that you watch that video tutorial. It's really important that you understand what you're doing before you actually go to comment on a peer's paper. If you have submitted a draft and you cannot find who you are supposed to review, or if a peer's paper has not been assigned to you yet, please let me know as soon as you possibly can. I'd like to know by Tuesday the 17th. That way we can, again, figure out what is going on, and hopefully I'll get a paper assigned to you. I usually have automatic peer review selected so that once a student has submitted a paper, as soon as another student submits a paper, you will get that peer review assigned to you. That said, we'll go into the peer review assignment. Assignment is just a placeholder for me to be able to provide a grade for you once you have completed peer review. However, there are some instructions here that I would like you to read through before you start on your peer review. So again, there's the reminder of how to use the peer review features in Canvas. But the types of things that I would like you to comment on in your peer review. So analyze the various sections of the paper and provide constructive feedback. There's a list of questions that you can go through, but again, you don't have to submit anything on this page. You'll notice that when you go to, there is no submission button on this page. But this is just a list of questions that you can think about as you're reading your peer's paper and you want to make some comments. Again, you'll use those tools in Canvas that will help you to mark up your peer's paper. So you can mark within the paper, you can do highlighting, and you can use the comments section, however you feel best achieves the objective here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just try your best. As long as you're getting some kind of feedback to your peer, then you will have done what you need to do. Okay. I know it's confusing the first time, but it gets better as we go along. So anyway, that said, there are some things that I think will help you in peer review as well as in your own reflection of your own work. So I have some readings up here. You have revision. Of course, you're going to be expected once you get your feedback from me and your peer reviewer, you'll be expected to revise your paper if it needs to be revised. So the readings are relating to revision as well as some metacognition. The revision, it talks about global revision and local revision. Essentially, that is like sentence level revision would be considered local revision, whereas global revision is where you start, you need to either scrap a lot of it because you may have incorrectly done the assignment, or maybe you need to move paragraphs, big chunks of text around in order for the ideas to flow more logically. So make sure you take a look at the readings. You don't have to do a super deep reading. There are some handy charts to help you understand the differences between global and local revision. And let's see what else. It's pretty long, but you get the idea as far as how revision works there. And of course, there's also responding to peer reviews. So you don't always have to take everything that your peer reviewer says you should do or says that might need to be fixed in your paper. You don't always have to accept everything that they say. It's really up to you, up to your discretion to figure out what feedback you want to take into consideration. So the other reading from our course textbook is Using Reflective Writing to Promote and Assess Learning. So that relates to this writer's memo for the rhetorical analysis essay. After each essay, I like to have you reflect upon your writing process to see how it goes. So that asks you a series of questions that you can think about as far as how the rhetorical analysis essay went for you. Again, it says here, you can use the list of questions that are on pages. There's a list of questions kind of around here, 532, process questions, subject related questions, rhetoric related questions. So if you want to think about those questions, you can, or you can just go on the questions that are written down here at the bottom of the assignment. Again, that's a short writing assignment, so it doesn't need to be super long. It can be in question and answer format, or if you feel like it, you could write a letter to an intended reader, maybe me, approach your memo as a movie review, or even give yourself a grade and justify why you deserve such a grade with examples from your writing. So again, it's a more flexible assignment. It's a low stakes assignment. I don't want you to stress out over it, but the readings are related to that assignment. There's also an example reflective memo, a student reflective memo of reflection on a draft in progress, talking about the advice that peer reviewers gave, the advice that the instructor gave, and any of the decisions that they made in revising the piece. So that's just a nice example of what it could look like in reflective writing for that writer's memo. So hopefully that's pretty clear as well. So let's pop back to that week 4 overview so I can go through the list of things that you need to do. So once again, if you have not been assigned an essay to review by midday on Tuesday, September 17th, please let me know, send me an email, and I will troubleshoot that and hopefully get a draft assigned to you, a peer review assigned to you. Let's see, so the assignments you have are that peer review, the revision, and then your writer's memo. So there are 3 things that you need to do. And again, there are a list of optional materials that may or may not be helpful depending on how much work you feel like putting into all of this stuff. I know it seems like a lot, but really just try your best, and I will work hard to prioritize your class. I have 3 classes, so and thankfully I have staggered submission of rough drafts so that I'm not inundated with 60 rough drafts that I have to review and get feedback for before you actually go and revise it. So I will prioritize your class and get that feedback to you as soon as I possibly can. If you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to me. I have been looking at my emails over the weekend and discussing things with students who are still a little bit lost as far as what you're supposed to do for rhetorical analysis. But I think the majority of you are on top of it. And I think probably several of you have already written rhetorical analysis for your high school classes. So this is somewhat familiar for you. Again, you know how to get in touch with me. Have a fantastic week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.